So here you have it. Dinner is served. You have glazed pork with rice and peas and your vegetable with your pear. Alright? Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So I am preparing for dinner, Sunday dinner, and I am going to be preparing my pork for glazing. Alright, so join me now in the kitchen as I washed my meat and preparing for seasoning. Alright, so I'm planning to do a little glazed pork. I'm not so sure of what I'll be doing, but I'm going to be showing you how I would carefully wash my meat. So this is my pork, and I'm making sure I'm not going to cut it any tomorrow because I might do a little pot roast. I'm not sure as yet what I'll be doing, but I am going to season it that if I want to pot roast it or I want to do glazed pork tomorrow, I can do that. Alright, so I am carefully washing my meat, and because it is so big I have to use something big to wash it. I'm going to pour some vinegar on it now because I want to make sure that I wash it properly. So I'm pouring the vinegar and I am going to be washing, making sure of all the built up of germs that might be on it because it was put down for a while to defrost and I don't want it to be contaminated, so I'm carefully washing it now. Going to wash until I'm seeing my water being clean, and then I'm going to transfer it to what I'm going to season it into. So I am carefully washing my meat. I've done a little washing with it before, but I am making sure to wash it clean. I don't want any of those scratches to go down in the drain, so I make sure to remove it before from the strainer before it gets down in the drain. So here I have carefully washed my meat and I'm going to be transferring it now to, here I'm seeing a little hair on this, so I'm going to try and get it out. Because I don't like my pork with hair on it, so I am going to try to get this out now. Oh yes, so this is out, and I'm going to be transferring them now to the container that I'll be seasoning it into. Alright, this is at least 3 pounds of pork, and I like bone, so I take some part where I have my little bone. Yes, and I have my meat. So for those who don't like the bone, can give it to me. So I am putting it in my container now for seasoning. Now we are going to be preparing our seasoning for the pork. So come with me now. So here I am preparing my garlic, my onion, my scallion, my hot pepper, my ginger, my sweet pepper. This I am going to add, blend, and I'm going to add it to my seasoning of pork. So all these seasoning I will be blending together. Now I am preparing the garlic to go in the blender to blend my seasoning to rub in my meat for marinating. Alright, so I am preparing all of these. So here I add one green, one hot pepper, my ginger that I am cleaning up, so I don't remember ever cooking pork online, so today I am going to be showing you how I would prepare my pork for cooking. And I always love to put a little ginger, especially in my pork. Gives it a nice flavor. And like some persons, they love to use pimento. I don't like pimento. I can't seem to acquire the taste of pimento in my food, and I just feel like too pimento overpower whatsoever seasoning that you use. It will take away the other seasoning taste. So for me, I see where persons really cook with pimento, and I don't like the taste of pimento, so I really don't use pimento when I'm doing my natural seasoning. I don't use it. I rather to use a little ginger. Some people don't love ginger, so it's about just that. My taste and your taste bud is kinda different. While some persons will acquire the taste of the pimento and not the ginger, well, for me, I acquire the taste of the ginger. I like the taste of ginger and not pimento. So everybody taste bud is a little bit different. So now I'm going to carefully wash my seasoning, and I'm going to put them in the blender for blending, so I can get the natural flavor of the seasoning in my meat. realized that when I went to the market to get some of the seasoning this evening, sweet pepper fries, and the price of tomato is down now. It is down to $100. The price of the onion is also down, but the price for sweet pepper now is up to $500. So in the market, some people have it for $500, some for $4. The price of garlic too is down now. The other day it was going up, it was climbing, and now I realized that it gone back down. I do hope that it keeps the price this way for Christmas, and I would like to have sweet pepper going down too, because I love the taste of sweet pepper in my meal. Yes, it gives the food a nice flavor. Some persons don't like it too, but I really like the taste of the sweet pepper. What I am going to be doing, I'm going to be using a little bit of vinegar to blend these seasoning together. So I will have that little tangy taste, yes. So I am going to transfer these to the blender now. So here I'm putting my seasoning in my blender. I'm just going to add a little bit of vinegar to this. Apparently my jar that I used to blend my seasoning, I don't know what happened to it, but I might have to get a new one soon. So I have to transfer now to blending using my blender. So here now I am blending my seasoning. A little, and I telling you, you know, the seasoning smells so nice already, blending together. Just having the honey and the ginger, the garlic, the hot pepper, the sweet pepper, and now I'm going to add this to my meat along with my Maggi seasoning and leave to marinate. So here I have my Maggi chicken seasoning, yes, and my Maggi all-purpose. These are what I use on my meat, and my blended seasoning. So tomorrow you will see when I prepared my sauce, either my honey glazed sauce or just any type of sauce, pineapple sauce or whatsoever, because you can also do pineapple glazed pork. So I might be doing either honey glaze or some pineapple glazed pork tomorrow. So here I add my blended seasoning to my bowl with my meat. I'm adding about a teaspoon of Maggi all-purpose. Remember, you have to be careful with the Maggi seasoning because they have a lot of salt content in them. So because I know that it has some salt content, I am careful with what I am doing. I'm not going to add a lot of it. I just want for flavor now. So I am rubbing in now my seasoning that I blended. And after rubbing this in, I'm going to leave it to marinate overnight. So I'm going to cover and I'm going to leave to marinate overnight. Alright? So you're going to be joining me tomorrow in the kitchen while I prepare my either honey glaze or pineapple glaze pork while I pot roast my pork and glaze it. Alright? Enjoy the rest of your evening until we meet again. Hey, so welcome back. Welcome back. So today I am going to be pot roasting my pork, and then I'm going to do a little glaze on it. And as I said I was seasoning the pork, but I am not sure what kind of glaze. If I'll do honey glaze pork, I will do pineapple glaze or some other form of glazing. But I'll use whatsoever I have in the house to do a glaze on my pork. So I'm going to be pot roasting the pork, and here my pot is now on the fire. It is getting hot. Just put it on and it is getting hot and waiting for me to put some oil into it. Alright? So now I'm adding my oil. I'm just going to add a little oil to the pot. And as it suggests, pot roast, but you have to have something in the pot for it to be roasted in. So here I'm adding the oil, and I am going to wait until it is hot. Then I start to add my pork. Now I like my things a little spicy. So what I will do too, I will cut a few peppers and put it in the pot so that the spice from the pepper will go into the pork while it is being pot roasted and cooked. So I've gone ahead and I've seasoned my pork as you had seen previously, and I've left it to marinate overnight. And this is what it's looking like now. Yes. So as soon as the oil is hot, I am going to be adding it to the pot. So we are waiting for the oil to hot for us to add the pork to the pot. So I add my pepper to the pot. Now I'm going to be adding my pork to the pot. I'm going to cover. And my, if you smell that flavor, all the flavors that were added to it for it to be marinated. I'm smelling my ginger, my pepper, my onion, and my scallion. Yes, I'm smelling all those seasoning, all those spice, my garlic. You can smell the flavor that was blend together to add to it. Now we cover and we are going to leave it And it is going to stay there and it is going to brown, and you're going to be adding water while you keep turning until it is cooked. So you're going to add little water at a time. So you will see me doing it. So here, as you look in the pot, you can see the pork is being cooked, pot roast as we call it. So I'm going to lift to see what is happening with it now. Alright, so it can actually stay on this side a little more before we add any water to it and try to turn it on the other side. So, as you observe, I've poured now some water in the pot, and I will be lifting the pork from one side and turning it to the other side. So here, the first side got it colored, and you'll keep doing this. You'll keep turning and adding water until it is tender. So you keep turning it to each side, adding water as it cooks and get tender. So, this is how far we reach with our glazed pork. As you can see in the pot, I've been adding water, and I keep turning on each side until it is getting tender now. So it is getting tender. As you can see, my fork is going through my meat. So it is getting tender, almost ready. I'm just waiting on the skin area of the pork now to be fully cooked. And I'm going to go ahead and prepare my glaze for this pork. Alright, so you will see me preparing the glaze. So here I'm adding a little water again because I want my pork to be as tender as ever. So I'm going to cover again and let it lift from the bottom of the pot for a while. I'm preparing my pan now to slice my pork and prepare my glaze. This I will serve with rice and peas and vegetable. So here my pork is cooked tender. Now I am going to be preparing my glaze to glaze my pork as I slice and glaze my pork. Alright, so you will see that soon. So here I am going to be preparing my glaze for my pork. I'm adding a piece of butter in my pan. And I told you when I was doing the pork, when I was looking after the pork for marinating, I told you that I will be adding whatsoever I have in the house to make my glaze. I won't go out and look for anything. And I realized that I have some sorrel in the fridge. So I'll be using my sorrel to do my sorrel glaze. I'm adding a little wine in this glaze today. So here I'm adding some wine. My sorrel for flavor. So this is the flavor for the pork. Some brown sugar for the tangy taste. So I add about 2 tablespoons there. I'm going to be adding, just running my thought that maybe a little mayonnaise will make the taste of this. So I'm adding just a little bit. So to see what will happen as I do my glaze. And I'm going to be adding some ketchup to this. And I'm going to leave to come to a boil where it thickens. I think I need a pinch of salt or so. So I'm going to allow this to come to a boil. Here I'm going to add some broth. I'm adding some broth to it. I'm going to allow this source nice stew to come to a complete boil and see. I think I want to add a little bit more wine, because I did not put anything in my sorrel. A little bit of all-purpose here. And I'm going to leave to come to a complete boil. I'm going to allow this to boil until it is thick. It's pear time, and I think if I add pear, I would use pear in this, just for glaze. So I'm going to allow this to thicken. Smell nice. I am going to add my pork now. To this glaze. So I'm adding my pork. And I'm going to pour glaze over the pork so it acquires the flavor from the ingredients that were added. And I don't want my pork either to stick to the bottom of this. So I'm making sure you're watching my glaze, and as you can see, you know, it is coming together now. It is getting thick, and my flavor is smelling nicely. I'm smelling my sorrel. And my wine. Tastes nice. Wow. So here you notice my glaze is ready and it is thick, and my pork is looking so lovely. I like the looks. I can just imagine how it tastes based on the taste I get from my glaze. Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in with me this evening. You will see the finished product when I serve. Alright? So here I am slicing my pork now for serving. Make sure that your knife is sharp so you don't mash the pork while you're cutting it. So I'm slicing to the required slices that I want them to be in for serving. So this is a piece of bone, so you have to know where to slice that. Alright, so here I've sliced my pork to the required slices, and I am going to be serving. So here you have it. Dinner is served. Your glazed pork with rice and peas, and your vegetable with your pear. All right.